For our meditation this morning, Sheryl and I will offer a poem in two voices. It's called If the Moon Only Came Out Once a Month by Cathy Rose. I invite us into a time of quiet meditation, reflection, and prayer, inviting the spirit of amazement and gratitude into our time together. If the moon came out only once a month, people would appreciate it more. They'd mark it in their date books, take a walk by moonlight, notice how their bedroom window framed its silver smile.
And if the moon came out just once a year, it would be a holiday with tinsel streamers tied to lampposts, stores closing early so no one has to work on Lunar Eve, travelers rushing to get home by moon night, celebrations with champagne and cheese. Folks would stay awake till dawn to watch it turn transparent and slowly fade away.
And if the moon came out randomly, the world would be on wide alert. Never knowing when it might appear, spotters scanning empty skies, weathermen on TV giving odds a 10% chance of moon tonight. And when it suddenly began to rise, everyone would cry, "The moon is out!" Crowds would fill the streets, jostling and pointing. Night events would be canceled. Moon closure signs posted on the doors.
And if the moon rose but once a century, ascending luminous and lush on a long-awaited night, all humans on the planet would gather in huddled, whispering groups to stare in awe, dazzled by its brilliance, enchanted by its spell. Years later, they would tell their children, "Yes, I saw it once. Maybe you will see it too."
But the moon is always with us, an old familiar face, like the mantel clock, so no one pays much attention.
Tonight, why not go outside? Gaze up in wonder as if you had never seen it before, as if it were a miracle, as if you had been waiting all your life. May it be so.
The poem in our meditation today is such a wonderful reminder of how gratitude is related not just to wonder, awe, and amazement, but also intimately and intricately connected to our human experiences of change, loss, and grief. Today, in our joys and sorrows and our gratitudes, I invited us to consider that connection and make space for the emotional complexity that is a reflection of our lived experience as human beings. Sometimes we are saying thank you. In the same moment, we are saying goodbye, and there is such tenderness in that awareness. Just as the autumn leaves cling to the tree in a glorious flash of color, a celebration of nature's changing cycles. Then it gently releases itself in one final dance to the earth to begin a new life. We too hold gratitude in the same way, a flash of celebration, appreciation, and amazement, and then release it, knowing it is all held in the great mystery of our living. A flash of beauty to behold, as Eleanor Roosevelt said, quote, "The purpose of life is to live it, to taste, experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly without fear for newer and richer experience." Gratitude is more than just a feeling. It is itself an experience of life, fleeting and wonderful. It has the power to shape and change how we live in the presence of uncertainty. On Thursday night during the Dharma talk here in our sanctuary with the Gaiden Schertsid monks, we were reminded of the truth of impermanence as it shapes our lives. Change and transformation are always happening, and our human mind plays tricks on us. It tries to convince us otherwise, and the practices of meditation, mindfulness, and gratitude remind us that the reality we marvel at is in such a state of change and flux, and our own inner experience of that world is always capturing just a moment, and that moment is already in the past. I was reflecting on this yesterday on my drive into town, enchanted at the way the mountains, as they emerge into my sight, rounding the curve of 550. Each day, they are different. And each day, I am painfully aware that I will never really know these mountains. But I will always be amazed and curious about their lives and their abiding beauty. I am grateful to call these mysterious mountains home, and I find a calling, a purpose, and a responsibility there. A purpose that perhaps Eleanor Roosevelt might appreciate too. I know many of us feel this way. Perhaps, and this is my mind wandering along these threads, perhaps gratitude is also an ecosystem of feeling, a matrix of awe, wonder, joy, grief, and loss, entangled in change and transformation. It is lovely, isn't it, how we humans gather to joyfully celebrate in the season of harvest and community, welcoming the quiet melancholy of winter and the long, cold nights that call us inward to the soul, to a deepening darkness that is generative, restorative, and transformative as it prepares to hurl us forward into yet another spring. That too is amazing and worthy of our wonder and gratitude. The rich cycles of life for the transformation that is already underway in ourselves and in the world. This week, as folks gather for Thanksgiving, for Friendsgiving, let us celebrate a feast of gratitude for all that is our lives, the joys, the sorrows, the gifts, the grace, all those things that nourish our spirits and allow us to live richly deeply, joyfully, and with purpose. May we find our way, following the 7 grandfathers, to live in harmony with all of creation. May it be so. Blessed be